The Bible calls them the misdeeds of the body. Romans 8:13 says, "For if you live according to the flesh, you will die. But if by the Spirit you put to death the misdeeds of the body, you will live." And perhaps one of the greatest examples of this transformation, of crossing the invisible lines, is Paul, the apostle himself. Paul was naturally the kind of person who would not easily cross invisible lines. Before he encountered Jesus Christ, he carried many things that could have made him inaccessible to others. He was highly educated, respected, religiously trained. He was intellectual, he was sharp, and rooted within the Jewish tradition. In Philippians, he describes himself, circumcised on the 8th day, of the tribe of Benjamin, a Hebrew of Hebrews, and for the law, a Pharisee. So his identity was very much tied into his status, into knowledge, into tradition, and religious achievement. So we see that Paul understood what hierarchy looks like, how structure looks like, and separation. And in many ways, Paul belonged to the religious elite of his time. But when Paul encounters Jesus on the road, everything begins to change. The encounter humbles him. The man who could see is struck with blindness and now is dependent on others. The man who was once persecuted, the man who once persecuted believers is now called to become a servant of the very gospel that he tried to destroy. So we see that Jesus just doesn't change Paul's belief.